creepers and geekers. It's Chris the Atari Creep here. And yeah, you're going to have to look at the side of my head because I have to redo this video. And I had to move things back to where they were going. Now, you're also going to notice, I'm going to split this video up into a couple different things too, probably. And that's simply because it's just going to be so long. I have basically a pickups, an update, and a review. I'm going to consider it Attack of the Clones episode. But I didn't want to do 3 fucking videos, or even just 2. I just wanted to throw it all together in one, do 2 parts, and then get over with, because it's kind of weird. I don't know, I as much as I like making these and putting them up there, I don't like doing like 3 or 4 in the same 3 days, so... I guess I can internally justify splitting this into 2 videos. It doesn't make sense, I know, but also, again, this is like the 3rd or 4th time I've done this. So you're going to notice at the end of this, on part 2, I'm not shaving, but I am now. So, continuity is not the greatest here at the Creep Farm. And speaking of the Creep Farm, guess what? I ain't going anywhere. At least not for right now. The ex and I, the ex Mrs. Creep, have been actually talking, and it's been real civil. It's you know, a couple boo-hoos here and there, but it's been really civil, and you know, it's working out pretty well. And she realized that she not only doesn't want to be alone in this house, but there are some things that I was responsible for financially that she really needs me to still keep going until something else happens with her or whatever. I don't know. So I am sticking around, and I'm going to be looking for work as usual. Not today, but I'll be back out there tomorrow doing it. So it looks like I'm going to be sticking around here now. I have a lot less stuff now because I sold it all, but that's good because I need that money to survive right now. And, you know, it's what needs to happen. And at the end of the day, it's all just stuff. I can get it all back eventually. And actually, it'll make, you know, the hunt fun. Again, you know, trying to reclaim everything I reclaimed already. I do know that the market's a little different now than it was when I got most of that stuff. So I'm probably going to be paying a little bit more for it. Excuse me. And that kind of aggravates me. But you know what? Whatever. You know, it's just stuff. I do have a line on one position with this company. It's actually the same company that the ex-Mrs. Creep works at. It's $20 an hour. So, if I am able to score that, even with the child support I pay, I don't know if you know this, but I pay child support. I not only will be able to have my own place in a car, but I'll be able to pick up all this stuff again, like, quick. And, so... like I'm always saying, no matter how negative things are going for you in your life, stay positive. That moment doesn't mean everything, okay? That moment is real, and I will never deny anyone's feelings, but that moment isn't the end of the world, you know what I mean? You just got to get through it, however you do it, positively. Don't get into drugs and drinking. A lot of people do that shit, and it's stupid. Things work out. Things always work out, and that's why Creep tries to stay as positive as possible. Even when I came to you guys and said, well, I'm homeless and all this crap, I was still positive. Oh, my dogs came in. Sorry. You can hear a lot of clicking and clacking because I need to cut their nails. Hold on, let me move this chair for them. There you go, buddy. Go lay down. They like my bed. Yeah, so I'm going to stay here in the Creep Farm, my game room, and I got that bed back set up in the corner, and I'm going to be staying here until I can get my own place or whatever. So hopefully I'll be able to have content for you. No, I don't really have anything on the shelf. The Atari 101 thing is going to have to take a back seat for now. But all right, so let me just get on to the next section here. There's a few things I've been able to acquire between like a buddy just hooking me up or a trade that I don't think I put in the last pickups video, but I've had these things for a little bit. Except for like 1 or 2 things that my buddy just gave me yesterday. I gave him a few things. It wasn't necessarily a trade. It was just, we do that. He's like, oh, I got this for you. I'm like, okay, cool. And I see things that I got that he could like and I'm not really into. So So I don't know if you guys seen this stuff or not. If you have seen some of it, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do the research. But I'm going to show you just a handful of games, one little system, and then we're going to get to what's going to be about, what part 2 is going to be all about, rather. So let me start with Genesis here. We got Dinosaurs for Hire and Comic Zone. Great games, both of these actually. Comic Zone, if you don't know this one, find it. It's not too expensive. If I remember correctly, I only got this for like $4. And it's such a great game. It should have went for a little bit more because it is a little bit. It's probably a $10 or $15 game loose. Great game, awesome. Download it if you have to. Dinosaurs for Hire. It's basically Contra, but you're a dinosaur. It's awesome. Very high learning curve on that game. So let's see. Let's go to Nintendo. I got Millipede. I got Dragon Spirit, which is a shooter, but you're a dragon. And I also got the manual for it, too. Great game. And Star Tropics. I'm going to thank Mr. Kevin at Buried on Mars for this one. Oh, great. Now the cat's in here, too, so the dog's going to probably wrestle with him. Awesome. Yeah, he did a Mars Versus on this game, and I thought, I'd never even really heard of it or seen it before, but it looked great. So I got myself a copy of it here a few weeks back or whenever it was. I know you've seen pictures of it. I posted about it on the Twitters. But it's one of those games that's difficult as hell, but it's not the kind that aggravates you into not wanting to play or smash the game. It's one of those difficulties that bring you back. And thank God the memory on this thing is still good, the battery or whatever inside, because I'm able to save my data and continue on. Missile Command for the PlayStation. It's an Atari release. I've been trying to get a lot of these old, they got Q*bert and Missile Command, and there was a Space Invaders one that I never picked up. It was in my hands for like $6. I should have just grabbed it, but I didn't. So, whatever. But this is pretty cool. It's odd. It's basically the same gameplay with updated graphics and some quirks here and there. Not as great as the updated version of Asteroids on the N64, but still cool nonetheless. And I'm glad I got it. Let's see, little things. I got a memory card for my PlayStation 1, if you remember correctly. My PlayStation took a dive a while back and the memory card broke. And I have no idea where the other ones are, or my other one is. So I picked that up from a buddy of mine. He just hooked me up. He had an extra one. Dr. Franken for the Game Boy. Now the Game Boy is a system that I go back and forth with. I've had a couple of Game Boy Colors. I've had an Advance SP. And, I like it and I don't like it. And the one thing I really didn't like about the SP, aside from it being a great system, but the one thing I didn't like about it is the way the controls were on that little thing. So I wasn't too sad when I traded all that in for something else that I really, really wanted. So, that's just, portable to me just seems, it's a little screen. I don't know. I never got into portables. But when I met up with my buddy Mr. Pakapaki yesterday, he gave me this. And it works very well. It's got a little bit of a dent here. But it's only superficial and only on this protective screen. It's not actually on the screen itself. So I think I'm going to give this whole Game Boy thing a try. He gave me this to give me something to do while I was bored. If I was going to go to that shelter. And I was going to get this in about 3 or 4 little games for it. Mainly like Namco collections and shit like that, because you know me. But yeah, I'm grateful to have a buddy like him think of me like that. And I'm going to give this sucker a try. And I've never had one of these actual Advanced. And you know what? The controls feel a lot better because of the spacing and all that. It feels like an actual, like I'm holding a controller. So, I'm going to give this another shot. I got a line on 2 other games. This guy owes me X amount worth of gaming stuff because of a mistake that we had. And he had showed me a couple of Game Boy games, like Star Wars, and I can't remember what the other one is, but regardless, I'm probably going to grab those from him too. Maybe, hopefully, grab a couple of advanced games. There's a few I have my eye on. Maybe a couple of the classic NES ones, Mario and Metroid and Castlevania. So, oh no, is Castlevania in that? I don't know. You tell me. Hey, Joe Goes Retro, let me know. He's really big into the Game Boy. He's got a whole series on Game Boy. You gotta go check it out on this page. But yeah, that's pretty much it for games and just little things. Now, this next thing, God, this video's going long. I'm glad I'm gonna split this up. This next thing, I got for a couple of reasons, and I'll explain those in a few minutes. But it's the only real purchase I made out of this whole block. And this is going to be the reason for part 2. Part 2 is going to be an Attack of the Clones video. And what I picked up was this little Nintendo clone. I have a handful of Nintendo games still that didn't sell. All the really, really, really good ones sold. But I'll play every other one that's here. I like them all. But I just don't have like Castlevanias and Metroids and shit like that. I picked this up simply because, again, I had some games. I don't have a lot of money right now, and I probably shouldn't have spent the money on it. But I gotta do something. You know what I mean? I gotta keep my mind occupied somehow. And there's only so much Sega I can play. I got both my Sega systems, the Mega Drive or the Master System and the Genesis, so, and a handful of games for that. And I just got the Wii back with updated games in it, but I needed something to play some of those NES games, and I picked it up, and I got it, and my buddy also hooked me up with this, and, you know, it's got the original sticker, it's not a reprint, it's in really good shape. So, I mean, this comes with a couple of controllers, but you know how controllers are with clone units. So, I'm going to sign off now. Hey! Anytime he hears a bang, he gets excited. I apologize. But I'm going to sign out now because this is getting too wordy. I know, even for me. And just stay tuned for part 2. It's going to be coming up shortly, right after I upload this one. And yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the system. We're going to open the box. I'm going to show you it. When I show you me opening it, it's the first time I opened it. So a little bit of gameplay and my final thoughts, you know. But it came from, God, maybe I should tell you this. Where this came from is a local store here called Fallout. Okay, there's 3 locations, and my dog just discovered the mirror on the shelf. He's staring at himself. He's all confused. And they saw a need in the clone market for a system that plays pretty much almost every Nintendo game that you can think of. Whereas a lot of clones have issues with certain ones. So they designed this one. One of their guys, or maybe most of them, are all real tech savvy. They designed this one to work with most games. There's an extra chip or something in it. I don't know the whole story. But they designed it, had a Kickstarter, and they got this one. They got a Super Nintendo one. They got a handheld one that plays, downloaded, emulated games. But you know what? It's a pretty neat little system for what it is, and you'll see it. It's not as cheap as most of them. It works a little bit better than most of them, and yeah, it's a neat little system. And I'm glad to have it. It was under $20. Under $20, you know. Now, I did buy this. I'm going to just say that. I don't remember if I said that in the other parts. I purchased this. They didn't give it to me for this review or not. So, just figured that'd be a great reintroduction, even though I didn't really go away too far and too long. But this would be a great introduction, reintroduction to the Creep. And, yeah, I'll shut up now. So, stay tuned for part 2. It should be coming up pretty soon. And guys, until then, bye-bye. Do 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 do.